Jody, I wanted to ask you about the script. The
Hmm.
script is written,
That would
and
piss me off for a long time, just so you know.
well, now we have something to forgive for together. And it does. It's a hard thing to understand.
It was
Uh,
triggering time to the ego.
right, right. So, two things. Then I can ask you. What does it mean the script is written, and why did it piss you off so much?
The script is written is that it's done. Of course, the separation never happened, but we believe that it happened, and the separation's done. The atonement's done. It's finished. We and so everything within the script is done. The past, the future, the present, the events that happened. Um, it's done, and it's written. And I've come to also learn that our one choice is choosing to look at the experiences with love, with the Holy Spirit, or of the ego. That's our one choice within the script, is how we are perceiving the the world of form. And I think it pissed me off because for a long time I was manifesting. I taught law of attraction. It was all about, creating the life that we love and creating our own reality. So to hear that it was already written, it gave me this sense of lack of control. And I think to the egoic mind, the character of Jody really liked control, knowing that I had a little bit of control to create my own reality. And so you're telling me that the script is written and I don't have control. And in fact, that was one of the things that came tumbling down in 2022 during my teenage son's suicide attempt, was just that, because I was never planning for that. I didn't manifest that. I wasn't
Right.
expecting it. And so it really was another rug that was pulled right out from under me, which which forced me either to lean in or to lean out. And I really leaned into the Course in Miracles. Um, and now, of course, I have a better understanding, and I'm okay with the script is written, because I know I still also have the choice. How do I want to look at this, with love or ego?
So, if that's the only choice that we have, what does that mean to those who believe in free will?
Mm. Free will is a concept of the mind, as all our thoughts. They're, they're all concepts. Um, and that's just a thought. I think the, yeah, yeah, it's just another concept. And if you have to be willing to look at it, to ask yourself if that concept is really serving you, or um, is there is there a higher knowing that you can step into and integrate according to your path? Because I would hate to say, don't do this or don't do that, or you could say that. I would just get curious about that. Just again, just get quiet, abide as what you are, and bring that question into the meditation and see what comes up for you with through this lens.
Um, so, are you no longer um, aligned with the thought of manifesting?
So that's interesting, because that's been quite a journey too. I was all about manifesting, and then I was anti manifesting. No, don't talk to me about setting intentions. No, don't talk to me about manifesting, because that's not of this world, and I don't want to play in the world. I want to play up here. Now I see it as I can play in the world of form and be a lucid dreamer. I can know that this world is an illusion, and I can still have fun with it. And it doesn't, again, because it's just a thought. Me resisting manifesting or
Right.
anything in the world is simply just that. It's just a thought, and we are not our thoughts. So I can be a lucid dreamer and have fun in the world, knowing that I'm not of it in truth.
I love that answer. And I can imagine a lot of people might let out a big sigh of relief hearing that. because we do want to have some sense of control, and the law of attraction gives us a very deep sense of control, because
Hmm.
not only do we are we able to, you know, go out and get a job, make these day-to-day decisions in the more solid realm, but through our thoughts we're able to uh, use the power of our thoughts in order to create a life that feels more aligned for us.
Yeah,
But as you said,
absolutely.
ultimately, um, still an illusion. An illusion is an illusion is an illusion.
Mhm.
But do you know Lloyd Lapp and Stephanie Finn?
I've heard the name. I'm not familiar though.
Uh, they were up. They were up last month, actually on Valentine's Day, and Lloyd said, "Don't knock the illusion because it's the only place to get a good hot dog." Um,
I love
and
it.
it really does sum it up what you just said. While you're here, have fun.
Yeah,
And if the script says, "Hey, manifest yourself this dream job," well, then that too was part of the script.
absolutely. Yep. Yep.
So
Surrendering.
ultimately, we can't change the script, though, can we?
Not that I'm aware. No, we cannot. Um, and that's okay because everything is here for an opportunity to awaken. I've come to that understanding and knowing, when I wake up, one of my practices just simply that is I allow everything because everything that unfolds today is for my awakening. That's why I seem to have projected myself into this illusory world so I can wake up and so it can wake up unto itself. And so everything that unfolds is for my awakening, whether I accept that or not. And when I don't make exceptions, then I accept it, and miracles, um, shifts of perception, and also in the world of form occur. So yeah, it's not an easy practice, of course, as
Right.
we are living this human experience, but it really does boil down to that.
And I like how this was pretty old, but Kenneth Wapnick uh, would liken it to a DVD with
Mm,
different versions. It's the same movie, the same script, but there's the director's cut. There is, an alternate ending. There is all kinds of little changes as you can change the DVD. And that as we practice forgiveness, and that really is what everything is for. Everything is a moment of awakening. Um, because as you said, the only choice that we have is, am I going to choose love, or am I going to choose fear?
yeah, and that's up to us. And we'll have a different experience depending on which one we choose, of course, either being a hostage to the ego or the host to God. So I've the deeper I go, the less I want to make exceptions, because when you've touched the truth, it's hard to make exceptions to that truth. But the mind always brings up all kinds of opportunities to try to make exceptions to the truth. But everything is here for our awakening. And so I'm grateful for everything up until this point and beyond.